Hi beautiful souls, it's Tan here today with an Astrology Midheaven video for you, and we're going to be talking about the Sagittarius Midheaven today. But before you go ahead and watch this video, I would suggest that you watch my introduction video to this first, because in that video I have my own kind of approach to the Midheaven, which includes some concepts and theories that I will be applying in this video, so it would make more sense to just watch that one first. So I'm going to post a link to that right up there, and you can click and watch, or you can click the link in the description box. So if you have a Sagittarius Midheaven, I would call you the ultimate diplomat. But before we go ahead and get started on the Sagittarius Midheaven, it is a good idea for us to examine the IC or the roots first, because it's kind of difficult to figure out how to achieve your dreams if we don't have a good awareness of what's kind of pushing you forward. So with the Sagittarius Midheaven, you have Gemini on the IC, meaning that the home that you grew up in was highly Geminian. So there was a lot of activity going on. There was people coming to your house, people going and coming and going, and it was a bit chaotic, and you had to learn to be able to socialize whether you liked it or not. However, I feel like I always kind of emphasize the negative aspects of the IC more than the positive, because yes, we do take the positive and the negative experiences of childhood to build our character, but it's really in the traumas and the crises that we find our aspirations, and we transform ourselves. We evolve a facet of the human collective psychology so that we can share this evolutionary journey with the world. You might have felt like you were growing up with parents, maybe one or both of them, that were kind of highly opinionated, and they kind of were imposing their ideas of how the world and how life should be and how it works onto you. When you had your own insights, your little insights, maybe you were thinking about in your room, and then you went ahead and wanted to share them with your parents, they might not see eye to eye with you. Or maybe they kind of were like acting like they supported your insights, your ideas about things, but then they never went back and, talked about it ever again. They might have also just been so busy, busy engaging with relatives, busy doing things in their own life, having little projects going on, that you might have felt a little bit lonely and kind of left behind. So you might have just stayed in your room, done things by yourself, read some books, did drawings, or any creative work that, children like to do, until, they're home again, but they've brought like a million people back home with them. You're happy that they're home, but it's like, did they really come home just to be with me, or they came home to entertain these guests? You were then conditioned as a child to know how to socialize and entertain other people. You have a really mentally stimulated inner self to the point where your mind overruns your heart and your body sometimes. You innately find peace when you can either be with your friends or maybe be by yourself, but going online, gathering information, reading up news, that's really what anchors you and grounds you, staying up to date and that kind of stuff. So if we think back about the Midheaven tree, yay, this is the Midheaven tree. So intellect, sociability, and a library of information is the root of the Sagittarius Midheaven tree. As you build on these roots, as you get older, in your 20s or 30s, depending on each different Sagittarius Midheaven person, you build upwards to the trunk of the tree. You see, the Midheaven is what you aspire to be in the world based on what you think is most important in life, so that you can make a full contribution. That is the leaves and branches of the Midheaven tree. You as a Sagittarius Midheaven can then really see the importance of accepting all different kinds of ideas. When you go out into the world, into your public life, you're very open-minded, you're highly accepting of people's, thoughts and opinions, though you could be opinionated at home, but not out in the world. And you can really expand your perspectives to the point where you can really understand, beliefs and ideas that crosses cultures. As Sagittarius Midheaven, you really see the value in being able to entertain people because that's kind of what you experienced back at home. You also feel that with your intellect and your sunny, bright, cheerful aura, that maybe you just kind of deserve to be popular and famous out in the world. As the midheaven also indicates your personal capabilities, with the Sagittarius midheaven, you have a way with people and words that really makes you well liked. And this is an asset that you keep with you at all times in the public sphere because you know that it's going to help you get very far in life and get you the success that you desire. You have the ability to, shoot that Sagittarius centaur's archer's arrow in a direction, far off direction, and then go right after and get it and grab it and make it yours. And you're highly blessed. You're with a lot of luck because Jupiter does rule Sagittarius. So having, a very lucky sign on your, career and public life, you're just lucky. Both Pisces and Sagittarius, both kind of being ruled by Jupiter, kind of both ruling Jupiter, can experience luck on their midheaven like no other zodiac signs midheaven can experience, really. Doesn't mean that they shouldn't work hard. It's just that they're a little more blessed. You are highly competitive when trying to reach your goals because Sagittarius is competitive, but Sagittarius is competitive because it is either 1, insecure, or 2, feels an innate fire that's burning within them, that's motivating them to do anything that they can to achieve what they want to achieve. The first scenario is when this Sagittarius midheaven hasn't yet addressed the issues of the Gemini IC, which means that they go out into the world thinking that they have something to prove to other people. This kind of Sagittarius midheaven has to really be careful of burnout or just being a little bit ruthless to people. In the second scenario, this Sagittarius midheaven is out in the world to make a difference because it knows truth. And truth lies within unity, which they know very well about. They aim to bridge the divide between people that is created by religion, education, beliefs, and other things. On social media, Sagittarius midheaven people post lively, cheerful stuff like they're partying, they're going out, they're having a good life because they feel and they know that people don't want to see all the sadness that's going on inside. They could internally be suffering, but they would never show that to people. They want to always appear like they have it all together on social media. To figure out what your true vocation is, I would suggest that you look to see where Jupiter, which is ruled by Sagittarius, which sign and which house it's placed. But if we're only looking at the Sagittarius midheaven, then I can't really give you a concrete answer, but I can give you the kind of working environments that suits the Sagittarius midheaven. With a Sagittarius midheaven, you would do so well to be in a position where you can be a leader or an influencer in the public world. You like the idea of maybe teaching or coaching other people in an atmosphere where there's a variety of different cultures, people from different cultures. Dealing with foreign issues or working in the tourism industry, things like that. Something that's not going to make you feel limited to your everyday dealings. The worst thing for a Sagittarius midheaven is to be in a job where they can't expand their knowledge of the world. So if you're feeling lost with like your life purpose or the next steps to take, and we all feel that sometimes, so what you need to do is kind of revert back to the Gemini IC to kind of regroup, rejuvenate, so that you can build a stronger trunk for the midheaven tree. So with a Gemini IC, what you need to do is 1, meet up with friends, maybe gossip a little, or 2, you can be by yourself, but go on the internet, read some books, gather a lot of information, factual information about the world that you can then later use as more metaphorical information when you're tapping into that Sagittarius midheaven. maybe visiting someone within your city or exploring the area where you live, all of that is going to help you build a stronger trunk for the midheaven tree. So this is going to sound quite morbid, but this is the ultimate representation of the midheaven. So on your deathbed, with a Sagittarius midheaven, what you need to feel completely fulfilled on that last day of your life on your deathbed is to feel that you have exposed the world to worldly truths. In worldly truths, we find no boundaries between countries. It doesn't exist. We find that the common thread of humanity lies within the fundamental principles of all religions. We find that the education system that we have nowadays doesn't teach us of these worldly truths, but rather of the divide. You, as a Sagittarius midheaven, have the potential to bridge the divide. So just do it. That's my take on Sagittarius midheaven. If you like this kind of a content, then feel free to hit the subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. And I will see you in the next midheaven video. Bye!